Hello and welcome back. Thanks for clicking subscribe. I'm John Stark, and this is X-Men 97, Season 1, Episode 8. This is the first of a two-parter. I don't know if that means we're only getting 9 episodes. That's a weird number to have. Can we just go to 10? I hope we have 10. 9 is weird. 9 doesn't even feel complete. 9 feels like there's like a lost episode out there somewhere. But yeah, so first of a two-parter in which we learn exactly what I mentioned last week. Bastion. So since I was right about that, click subscribe and stay here with me. It's Bastion is the primary hero. I just didn't realize he's actually voiced by Theo James. We went out and got an actor to play Bastion, but they put Professor X back in the opening credits. This is the weirdest series ever. They keep moving and removing and shifting the opening credits people around. It's so bizarre. It's one of the weirdest things about this series. See, the X-Men animated series just kind of had like a stagnant group of people every episode. This one is like changing. It's constantly like moving people around, and it's a little weird. I don't know that I hate it, but I would love for it to have to allow for the opportunity for there to be more characters used, and to have those people, like, for example, Roberto has never been in the opening credits. So I'd love to see Sunspot in the opening credits at some point, especially since he does actually use his powers in this episode to save Jubilee. So that's nice. But yeah, Bastion reveals his grand plan, and we find out, Magneto's alive and he's just been captured by Sinister. And eventually that Cooper woman, is also part of the plot. And she realizes that maybe Bastion's not quite as solid as he thought he should be. And Cable's still here, and he's running around with Jean and Cyclops. So quasi mom and dad. And he's blasting things away, and we learn a lot about his past and how he's tried to jump to that same point, to the Genosha point, and he's never able to stay there. Beast talks about how there are points in timelines where no matter which timeline you're in, it's the same point is always the same. It's something that's an unchangeable point in the timeline. Like, it happens no matter where you are, which I think is really interesting. I like that explanation to it. It got very Avengers, Infinity War there or something, to me. Like, I was like, ooh, it's like it's unavoidable, but I am inevitable. But this is a fun episode. It's got people attacking and people revealing themselves to just have to be infected with Bastion's Sentinel programming, and a lot of them, and all these people just sort of awaken at the same moment and are ready to attack, and the X-Men have to pop back and fight. And sadly, I guess they're not going to do anything with Beast's girlfriend. Like in the comics, she's really just here. She's not here for Beast. She's here to be a Sentinel, basically. And Beast gets knocked out, and then they have Rogue is, I don't know, unconscious or in some sort of weird sleep, so they can't use her. So Wolverine, Nightcrawler, Morph all have to fight off Beast's Sentinel girlfriend, which was a fun sequence to see that just one of them is strong enough that it takes 3 X-Men to fight this one. Um, and meanwhile, in another part, Cyclops, Jean, and Cable are getting like way overwhelmed because they have far too many of them, and these things are way overpowered, and they just don't know what to do. And with all of this, eventually Magneto gets released, and you hear the words "Magneto was right," and Professor X crash lands and hops out and is like, am I too late? I don't know, dude. For what? Are you too late for which thing? Like, what are you too late for? I mean, Gambit's dead. Was that you? Are you trying to stop that? Like, what are you? Like, what are you too late for? Pick your thing and then ask the question. um, you've missed a lot, bro. Let's just say your selfishness has caused you to miss a lot. But because by having the reveal, then everybody thinks like the X-Men were lying intentionally and trying to do some shady shit. They had no idea. Professor X had decided to marry an alien. It just wasn't on the table for them, but whatever. Um, it was an interesting episode to see these people. What I really loved I love the cameos. I love the shout outs. I love the Omega Red and Silver Samurai shout outs. I thought that was really solid. And we heard the term Stark Tech at one point here. So I didn't watch last time I had seen a video that I watched a video that really just broke it down, all of the little Easter eggs, and I was like, my God, we were missing a lot of things in the audio. I didn't want to do that because it's just really depressing. I think the audio description is pretty solid, but there are a lot of Easter eggs. You watch one of those videos and you're like, you just want to cry because you're like, man, we're just never going to be able to translate all that into an audio description. Some of it is just oddly specific, and I know why it can't be translated because it's a bit much, like Rogue doing an attack that is the exact same attack as she does in her video game. I mean, that's great for the creators and great, like totally on point. But like, I don't even conceptually know why or how you would describe that in the audio description, because then you're assuming that a group of blind people played the video game and know what her attack looks like. It's a weird. So some of that stuff I understand why it's not there, but characters and stuff. I was a little upset that they didn't mention that Gambit's brother and stuff attended the funeral. So I'm sort of like, is there a character that I would have been upset about them being in here and not being included? Probably. Now I'm just starting to assume that that's a thing, where there's somebody who should have been included in audio description, but for time purposes or selectivity wasn't. And yeah. Anyway, but overall, I'm really enjoying X-Men 97 for the most part. I got over I don't know that I really got over it, but I'm moving past the Gambit death. He's literally one of my, he's a top 3 for me, actually. So like an untouchable for me, and he got knocked off. Not all of my top 5. I think I listed 5, my 5 favorite X-Men, and at least one of them has not been featured. 2 of them have not been featured in this series. So, no, one of them's dead. So I'm just like, I don't know, like a Wolverine. Cool. But that's it. That's what I got. So, I'm gonna give X-Men 97, season 1, episode 8. I'm gonna give it an A. I thought it was interesting. I thought the way they revealed Bastion's plot, and it sets up, and there's a clear cliffhanger here. I will say I'm hoping we go to 10, because again, 10 feels like a solid. 9 is weird. Stop doing weird numbers of episode orders. It's very bizarre. So we're just gonna hope and fingers crossed that next week is not the season finale of this. But we've got at least 2 more episodes, because I feel like there could be 2 more here. There's enough story to keep going. And Disney Plus hopefully will renew this for 2nd season so we can get more X-Men 97. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I will see you guys on the other side.